And a badge.
All
You
right.
live?
Yeah, but I'm
Yeah.
waiting for
I
the
had
Instagram.
I have some of them somewhere. I brought them when you did, Dimitri. I gotta find them.
Yeah.
You got a
Um.
badge and a gun pointed at you.
Negative.
All right. Here we go. All right. Yep. So we're
Yeah.
going live. Let's do it.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 2A Brotherhood podcast. Dude, we are so excited, man. We got the one and only Byron, the instructor, with us this evening. And hey, also, we want to say what's up to our Instagram viewers. So we're just kicking off this live stream on Instagram. So, yeah, so we want to
First
say
time.
welcome to Instagram viewers. But, Byron, we just want to say thank you so much for being here right now. Take the floor and introduce yourself.
Anytime. Yo, what up, y'all? If y'all don't know, I'm Byron, the instructor, law enforcement instructor that didn't plan on doing this. I wanted to just run a security company, but my mentor seen something in me, and man, 15 years later, here we are. I don't know what else I would be doing. It's like the calling. I just fell in it, just fell in this space and loved it.
Yeah, man.
Hey,
Dude, that's
Yeah, man. The one of the things that we've said a lot on this podcast is the 2A community is so inviting and
Oh yeah.
everyone's willing to help, man.
Oh yeah. Some people. Some people. Some
So far,
people
we
only
haven't
want
had
to.
any douchebags.
Some people like to help when they feel you're beneficial,
mm,
and then if they feel like you're not helping them or putting them in a position or on a plateau they feel they deserve, then they're not so
as
helpful.
I've also seen
mm.
we seen that
You be
before.
around for a while, you see
you
a
can
little
yeah,
bit,
I've also seen people
you
who
know.
they're almost insulted when you try to offer a piece of advice, you know? They feel like it's beneath them.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say, yeah, the 2A
100%.
community, I would say, yeah, for the most part, I've seen a lot of
Bruh.
open arms, so
Yeah, 100%. I mean, for the most part, it is, and I mean, a lot of times when you're new in the space, people don't know how to take you and what value you may have. So they can't make a judgment right away. They kind of, let's see what happens. They're like, let's see what he do, and then we'll go from
mm,
there. Let's see, he might surprise us. He might pop up and be one of the ones. So they don't want to put themselves on the other side of the fence, and then you be one of the ones, and they like, hey man, you like, no, 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 no. I remember what you did.
right?
Right.
I'm never gonna forget. Hey, listen, you said 15 years ago,
Right.
and you're here now. What was that like first initial push into firearms? Like what made you get interested in them?
Growing up in an urban environment, for me, it was just not having that proper education, right? So it was like, I remember being 16 and one of the OGs told me, you know, yeah, you could fight, but what you gonna do when somebody got a gun? The gun is the power. So you don't want to be the only person running around here without no power because you can't fight bullets. And I'm just like, man, that's heavy. So then I'm thinking like, I need a gun. I ain't gonna be the only one out here without power. Growing up in that environment, the only two people I seen with guns was drug dealers and cops. It wasn't like no middle ground where I had a neighbor to carry. So fortunately, I never didn't get caught up in the streets like a lot of my counterparts. Then they'll never be able to legally own a gun unless they're able to get an expungement and things like that. And when I became 21 and I started like, oh, I'm really getting into this. Like I'm gonna carry a gun, and they wanted to make me dive into it more. And the aspect of the instructor, I liked it, but I didn't really want to dive in because I wanted to be the knowledge I had to seek on my own and find, and to understand that a gun isn't power, a gun is responsibility. And
Yeah.
I feel that if it was more people that I grew up with that had that message of it being responsibility instead of power, a lot of them wouldn't have caught felonies for having illegal guns and things like that.
I feel like it kind of humbles you more when you carry. You kind of watch your surroundings, and this could be just me, but you tend to try to avoid situations rather than get yourself into them. I
Yeah.
would say
100%.
worst case scenario type, backup plan. But for me, when I'm carrying, I try not to get into dicey situations.
Yeah, you got
100%.
where you go, some of the people you hang around. You know what I mean?
Effects. I remember the day that I first bought my Glock 19, and I was so excited. And I came in the house, and I mean, because me and my mom had an issue with guns when I was like 17, 16,
Yeah.
17.
Me too, man.
So it was like, so then I think I was 22, 23. Yeah, I was 22. And I was like, yeah, I just got my first gun. I was like, it's beautiful. It's a Glock 19. And she said, I wish you wouldn't have did that. I was like, what? Why? And she's like, because you're going to go to jail. I was like, because I have a gun? She was like, you have a bad temper. And she was like, you having a bad temper and a gun that doesn't mix. So I'm glad she said that because her perspective of it made me reevaluate the way that I move. And I'm like, yeah, I had a temper, but it wasn't just, it was that urban mindset. Like, if I let you talk to me anyway, then the next guy gonna think he could talk to me anyway. And then if I let you do something and slide, then the next person is gonna do it and they think it's okay. So my mindset, especially as I found out I could fight, at that first fight broke the ice. And I was like, oh, that wasn't even that bad. I actually could fight a little bit. Then, cause I remember my grandma used to always tell me it's better to hit and run away because you live to fight another day. So I never actually questioned her about it, but in my mind, I'm like, dang, you think somebody get beat to death? Nobody want to die like that. So in my mind, I never got in the situation. And one day I did, and I punched this dude and ran. Then I got tired, so I stopped running. So then we fought, and I'm like, that's it. Oh, I could take some punches. Okay. And then, then my motto was, you're not gonna talk to me any type of way. You gonna have to fight me. And if it don't go my way, I'm old school, 80s baby. When next time I see you see this book bag coming off, you know what time it is. So my mom knew that was my mentality. So then I started thinking about it, and I'm like, that is true. Because I had to look at it from another perspective. If I was openly willing to fight somebody, and I happened to see a gun on them, even if they were ready to fight, would I still want to fight? And in my mind, I'm like, no, because if I beat you up, you're going to shoot me. That was my
Yeah.
mindset of it. And I was like, so you know what? I can't fight with a gun on me because it just won't make sense. Even if I'm down to fight you and I could take the L and not shoot you, the other person is not going to probably think that way. So it caused me to have some emotional maturity at a younger age carrying a gun because now it's like one wrong move, I am gonna be in jail. So it
All it
just
takes
made
is
me
one
more
bullet.
calm, and it just like really ain't that serious. Like then from me carrying the gun, it took me back to what my grandma used to say: "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me."
Yeah.
And then it was just like, all right, whatever. And it's like, what you looking at? Nothing, bro. My bad. Because it don't be because now mentally I'm at a different space, so it wasn't that same level. Like I felt like I had to prove something. Now it was just like me being more calm was giving you a pass that you don't even know I was giving you. Because I know what I'm carrying and I know the responsibility that I have. Now you might think it's sweet. Okay, that's fine. As long as you think it's sweet from across the street and you stay over there. We all good.
Yeah, you leave me alone.
So
Yeah,
I'm
all it
actually
takes is one bullet to change your whole life, change the whole
right.
trajectory of your life.
And
100%. And and one of the things that over the years as I train more and more and become better at this in this space at shooting, and as I hung around more people that because realistically what people fail to realize is when you when you go to do certain things at a high level, like a lot of people want to be I want to just teach you the basics, and that's cool. I don't want to just teach you the basics. I want to teach you stuff that in real life is going to work. Like I like to give people reality checks in the classroom and make people think out of the box where people like to say, "Oh yeah, you do this, you're going to be fine." Um, and that's not always the case. So I like to give people a real aspect of it. And once you actually become a practitioner of violence, because that's really what it is when you start to really getting the meat and potatoes of defensive shooting, that's what you really are. You become a practitioner of violence. But every time, and I've been around people that are practitioners of violence, from snipers and SWAT guys and martial artists, those are some of the baddest mother man. But all these practitioners of violence are the nicest people until they're not. And that's probably why I like John Wick so much, because it showed that perfectly. He was a master practitioner of violence, but that's not what he was looking for. Now, once you stole a car and killed his dog, well, now you
Now
knock
you
on
got a
that
problem.
door and you're going to get that guy.
Right after his wife died too.
Right. So it's like, and it's just one of those things that some of the most dangerous men are the most humble. I've seen guys avoid fights that could literally probably drag all six of the guys that had something to say without my help. I probably would have
Yeah.
been the person like, "Oh, this is gonna be good." Pull the phone out, like they don't even know what's about to happen, but because I know what they're capable of, and it's so funny because a lot of times people think like you have this mentality of I'm tough. No, you might be tough in your area. You might be tough in your space, but until you have come across somebody that understands violence, knows violence, and will take it to the top tier to make sure this altercation is deaded, you really don't understand. Like, sometimes people think like you bad. The dude thought he was bad because of his dad when he stole that car and killed the dog,
Yeah.
and then he found out, who was really bad.
My mother always told me there's always somebody bigger and badder than you.
100%,
Dude,
100%.
it doesn't even have to be someone bigger. Like, before I had
Not
my heart
bigger, but
attack. No, I know. Before I had my heart attack, I was doing jujitsu, bruh. You want to get humbled? Go in there when a dude that weighs like 120 pounds is just tossing you, and you're just tired. Like, that's the main thing.
Yo,
You're tired, and that you can't do anything by the end of this training. You're just sitting there like, what the heck, man?
I gotta say, I'm glad you said that. One of the guys I trained with doing hand to hand. Shout out to my guy Idris, Sensei Idris. Man, this dude, his strength and conditioning is crazy. I remember one day he was like, we started off with the warm up, we doing striking. He was like, man, we're gonna do all grappling and mat work today. I'm like, okay. He's like, UFC, 5-minute rounds. I'm like, ugh, it's a little dicey. Okay. Mind you, it is 4 of us. It's just one of him. So
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
four on
okay.
one.
No, one at a time. So I'm thinking,
Uh,
okay, I'm number 3. No. I was third. I was third on the mat. So I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a good one. I got 10 minutes, 5 minutes up. One dude get off, next dude get right on. 5 minutes up. Now it's my turn. We get on there, we're grappling around. First, I'm like, man, it's over. I tapped out like twice. Now, for me being there with him, I was happy with that. That was an accomplishment. So I'm like,
right,
man, I'm
right.
tired. But I'm like, okay. Soon as my 5 minutes is over, next dude on the mat. So then I'm like, all right, cool, that was good. So he doesn't stop. The last dude, he said, all right, come on, let's go. Okay. First dude goes back, and I'm sitting there. I was like, I was gonna drink somewhere. I said, I just took a sip. Okay. So the second dude goes on. So then I'm back on here. I'm not even didn't that first 2 minutes I had something. At that last 3 minutes was I told him, I said, yo, this is crazy. This is almost bullying at this point that I agreed to. He gets the last dude. So he says, come on, get back on the mat. I said, wait, hold on. I'm confused, bro. This is the 3rd round. He said, so what? You better gather all the energy you got. I said, oh, this is insane. So I'm sitting here, I'm trying to be calm. Then it's my turn again. We get on the mat. I pretty much don't have nothing this time. And he is like, so you just going to die? I was like, no, maybe.
Maybe. What are you gonna do to me?
I'm like, so, and it was just to push me. And I'm just like, bro. Then he did the last dude. I'm like, bro, you come back around. This is bullying. I call it bullying. But in my mind, it was phenomenal to me that he made us go 4 rounds. We were supposed to go 5. He stopped at 4. Because by the 4th round, everybody was so gassed, he understood it was bullying too.
Yeah.
But the thing that I looked at and I took from it was his fighting IQ was so good that every round was 20 minutes for him. And he never got off of the mat. It was just next.
Mm.
And I mean, after the 4th round, you've been out here for over an hour, my guy. You ain't touched water. Like, his commitment to combat was on another level. And I'm like, yo, it was crazy. But it was just like, yo, your conditioning is like, that conditioning is crazy. And his fighting IQ was just like so elite. I'm like, yo, now I get why I'm here and I leave with bruises because I need all of this knowledge.
It sounds like he's a warrior, man.
Yo, listen. He's the dude that when something go down and he in your corner, you be like, yo, listen. Y'all better relax.
Yeah, the guy that was teaching the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class, he was, I don't know, he was like 155 maybe. And like if you saw him walking down the street, he was like soft spoken, looked nerdy as hell. And then he had like 6 stripes on his black belt, and he had like trophies out the ass all over his gym. So I'm like just thinking, like, imagine this guy walking down the street, someone's gonna be like, man, I'll fuck you up. And it's like, calm down, take it easy, it's okay. I'm good. Yes, you can. I'll leave you alone.
when you meet, and I tell people all the time that it's the people that's from the streets that you think you tough, bro, I'll fuck you up. Listen, let's not do this. You think that man is scared when he's that calm? No, he's giving you a pass right now. But you too stupid to realize you just got, look, you got grace. Yo, bro, go ahead.
Just
You
keep
gonna
walking.
you gonna fuck around and be a victim today. Don't do that. And it's
Fuck
like,
around
yo,
and
these
be a
people are
victim.
nice for a reason. Yeah, it's like when people are nice, like you gotta and I mean sometimes even situations I've had at work when because I'm an agent under the state police too. So when I've been out and we've had some situations, and I think some people get that, like people was talking crazy, and I told the one guy, I was like, yo, be careful what you say. Man, I ain't worried about that. We don't give a fuck about badges and vests. We got guns too. I said, okay. And he said, yeah. So what you think about that? I said, I think you should go home and have a good night. You better stop playing with me so you don't go home. I said, that's cool. I'm not Superman. I said, but if that's the energy that you have, make sure your mom got a nice suit picked out. And he was like, for what? You're going to need it.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but this Glock will make you see through.
Right. And then his homie was like, man, I don't know what's up with boy, man. Let's get out of here. Yeah, listen to him, man. Because I don't care about none of that stuff that you talking about. But if you come back, it's up. And I said it all calm, and he's like, oh, it's up then. Okay, see you on the other side.
Yeah.
And his friend kept trying to come back and talk to me. He was like, look, man, save it, bro. I said, you're lucky that I let you walk up in this 10 yards. I said, you've been in rain since you stepped beside that building? I said, but tell your man, well, our car is on this side. I don't care. You better tell him you had to walk all the way around. I said, because if he walks across this way, he going to see y'all on the other side. And he went back and talked to his homie, and they went around the long way. And because he knew I didn't have to get hyped, was nothing to talk about. And his homie tried to come, let me be a peacemaker. Nah, Your man was talking, so now he can't walk past me. Something might happen. So I'm being nice to let him walk around that way.
Especially because he threatened you with a
Yeah.
gun. Like, why would I let your friend get close to me at that point?
Yeah. And he was, no, man, Don't care. It's like he walk over here, y'all gonna see him on the other side.
So were you on the job when this happened, or were you
Yep.
just?
Yep.
God dang. Oh yeah, because he said I don't give a shit about badges. Yeah.
Yeah. And then
That's crazy.
my partners, they're like standing there. They're like, so then dudes walking up there like, yo, calm down, bro. I was like, I'm calm. And they're like, no, calm down. I was like, but I'm chilling. I'm relaxed. He was
Yeah.
like, you know what you just told him? I was like, yeah. And I hope he takes the advice. So he go home, he can hug his mom tonight. And then
So,
my
would you be able to arrest them for threatening you like that, or no?
so I mean, so technically you could, but I mean, well, so you can't really just based off of them saying it. Now he
Mm,
would have to come back with some sort of weapon to seem like he was actually going to do it.
gotcha.
I mean, you could go with the terroristic threats, but then it's kind of like you got to say something really heinous, like you're gonna kill me, go rape my wife and my mom, or you gotta go down the rabbit hole of getting real crazy. So I
Gotcha.
mean, just off of a threat, because most people talk, so you can't really prove it just based off of what he said.
Gotcha. So that's a stupid story to be in the street. What stupid crap have you seen when you're training people?
I remember a phone call I got one time, and just based off of the phone call, I was like, yeah, I probably can't train this guy because I'm like, thanks for calling Train to Fight. How can I help you? He said, yeah, man, I'm gonna learn how to shoot some guns and shit. I said, okay. What are you looking to learn how to shoot guns for? I got ops out here. Hmm. Okay. Well, what do you do? Why do you have ops? Oh, when you make money, people don't like you. Okay. And I'm like, so, well, what do you know about gun safety? And his response blew my mind. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not the guy for you. Because I said, the safety rules. He said, if you don't got a holster, you got to make sure your belt tight. That has never been a safety rule, but I didn't say nothing. Because in my mind, I should have stopped him. But now I'm just like, you know what? Humor me. All I could say was, okay. And he said, and I said, what about, the gun? He said, you don't point the gun at me, I won't point one at you. Okay. That's not really a safety rule, but I'm probably not the guy for you. I was like, it's probably an instructor out there somewhere that it might work. I said, but I'm not the guy for you. Man, I heard good shit about you. I appreciate that. But I'm not the guy for you. It might be another guy, but I'm not sure guy. You're not as good as I thought you was. Click. Okay. But
Now,
just based off of what you were saying, bro, like you sound like you a drug dealer and you ready to get out here and not
now, if you have a guy that's constantly breaking safety rules, right? Like maybe he's kept his finger on the trigger a couple times. You told him once or twice, but he's trying, right? How do you redirect him? How do you correct him?
So a lot of times what I'll do is you find out what people care about. Most men care about money. So after the second time, and I said, so you touched the trigger again and you're not on target, right? He said, no. I said, question. How much money do you have on you? He was like, huh? I said, I know it's a weird question. I was like, I'm going somewhere with this stuff. I was like, I know you might not be a gambling man. I'm not either. But how much money do you got on you? He said, I don't know, about $200. I said, okay. So every time that you touch that trigger and you're not pointed at that target and ready to shoot, you owe me $25.
Mm.
And he said, $25? I said, yeah. Or if you don't pay me, lesson's over. I already got my money and you could go for being unsafe. And I was like, I think that sounds fair. I said, because I'm giving you the opportunity. And I said, but what you need to understand from this is mistakes will cost you. Here is
Yeah.
$25. Outside, it could be prison.
Yeah.
Then after that, he thought about it. He ain't touched that. I had to tell him, okay, you're on target. Pull the trigger. Now he's being super cautious. But he needed I needed a way to pull him back and make it real so he understand the seriousness of what he was doing.
Yeah, in my concealed carry class, that was like a big thing that the instructor said. It, she was like, finger off the trigger and don't worry, like don't worry. It's someone's going to do it. I have every single class, someone does it, and if you guys do it more than 2 times, and especially if you're not pointing the weapon down range, you guys are gone out of the class.
Mm-hmm.
That you guys are gonna have to take a safety class by yourself.
Yep. And it's like you have to be like that because it people don't care about a oops because realistically, right? And this is just things I've seen over the course of 15 years that people want to say, "Oh, well, the instructor could have." And I've seen videos of people send me was like, "Oh, this instructor could have did better," and then I'm just like, "Well, action beats reaction every time." So for you to say that that instructor was supposed to be psychic and know what this person was going to do, that's unrealistic. I said now because the what happened it happened so fast, so somebody ended into the counter, and the instructor was right there, but it literally happened so fast. No, you, it was one of those things where the instructor maybe have been able to grab the gun and the person, but the gun probably still was going to go off. Now it's just maybe it missed the counter. Maybe the instructor got his finger caught in the ejection port trying to grab it. Who knows? But it's a lot of things that could have happened. So that's why you try to instill as much in people as you can in the classroom. But at the same time, you kind of have to watch what people are doing and load up snap caps usually just to try and trick people to see how their safety is and what they remember from the class and see if they do touch the trigger prematurely. So that way, at least if they do it and they do pull the trigger, it was a dummy round in there. And now you have a teachable moment where you can either go from there to tell them they're not ready for live fire and y'all head back to the classroom and you make them book another appointment for live fire, or you handle it however you see fit based off of the student and what you've been getting from them. But a lot of times you just have to, because even as instructors, man, a lot of times you end up being like a little therapist. And a lot of times especially I've had some women come in that were victims of domestic violence and they didn't say that, but me seeing the buildup for certain things and the anxiety and the fear. I couldn't teach this one particular person the way I taught everybody else. So you have to kind of gauge and read your students. Like when I could see that when we went up to where the range was and she started jumping with the gunshots, I already knew. So for me to do that, when the guy was like, "Hey man, here's your eyes and ears," I grabbed him and I said, "Nah." I said, "Yo, have a seat." She said, "What's wrong?" I said, "No. I understand that I could tell this is a lot for you. Let's just sit out here. I want you to get acclimated to the noise and understand that you're safe and nothing is going to happen to you." Now, as we sat there and we were talking and people were out there shooting and somebody was out there with an ARP. So that was kind of loud. But once I got her to talk and get past that, so I asked her, I said, "Do you have any gun trauma?" And she was like, "What made you say that?" I was like, "I could tell." I was like, I could almost hear your heart beating. And she was like, "Wow." She was like, "I do." She was like, "My ex shot at me." And I said, okay. So then I told her, I said, "Listen, check this out. I'm not going to charge you again, but we don't have to shoot today. I want you to just take some time, crawl before you walk." And I said, "We could just sit here and talk to help you get acclimated." Now, the second time she came back, she still didn't shoot because it was different from us being outside the range to actually being on the range. Now you're seeing the shells. Now everything is louder. So the second time I told her, I said, "Look, don't worry about it. It's cool. We could come back again." I said, "If this is too much for you, you let me know." I said, "But if you want to try and get acclimated, I'm right here with you. I'm here for it." And we just stood there while people were shooting. And she got acclimated to the guns going off, the muzzle flash, the shells popping out everywhere. So And like, she was a little teary eyed, and I told her, I was like, it's up to you. Whenever you're ready, you're done, we're out. And then we were in there for probably like 45 minutes. And then she was like, okay, she was ready. So we left. And I told her, I was like, and she was like, well, no, I feel like I'm wasting your time. I said, nah, it's okay. I said, I'm not doing this just for your money. I was like, it is a business and I do have bills to pay. And I said, but I need you to be in a space where you could really soak up everything that I'm trying to teach you. And that comes with patience. And because of that, I got a lot more students that have been through that because, a lot of women that are part of groups like that, when it comes to getting into training, it's already intimidating, especially if they have firearms trauma. So being able to deal with her the way that I dealt with her, and it wasn't like me trying to get money every time. Oh, well, you wasted my time. Just having that human approach, it it helped, and it helped me level up as an instructor, and for her, it helped bring her anxiety down and build her confidence that it was on her time. It wasn't rushed. I let her go with her pace, and I made it a great experience to where now she goes shooting a lot. So those are the good moments. Those are the moments where you're like, yes.
Heck yeah. Um, so what would you do in a situation to where you have someone that's never touched a firearm, never held one, never even really seen one in person, but they're kind of testing the waters and wanting to learn? How would you approach them in terms of training and getting them acclimated into it?
Well, it all starts from a simple conversation. So when we get in the classroom, I introduce myself. Usually they already know who I am anyway, because they obviously booked the class. So we talk. I ask them, just questions like, okay, what got you here? And then they're like, well, it was getting dangerous outside, and I felt I needed to do something to be able to, protect myself and defend myself. So then it gives me an idea of where to go, where their head is at, and then I could kind of see what their goals are. And then I kind of use that to tell them, okay, well, this is what we could do. This is how we're going to get where you want to go. And then I tell them what we need to do to get where they want to be. And usually that gives me the best results because by just having that little dialect before we start getting into the gun safety and everything like that, I kind of already have an idea and they kind of love that rapport we build. So when people feel that you're in it and you have their best interests at heart, and it's not like you walk in, hey, I'm Byron. Okay, sit over here. 4 universal safety rules. So I make it a more welcoming atmosphere to kind of figure out what their goals are and then kind of structure the class around what their goals are. So even though they're like, I'm here to learn firearm safety, cool, great. I can do that with my eyes closed. But, what is your end game? Do you want to just come and shoot today? Do you just want to know how guns are? So I utilize the information they give me to kind of cater that class and build it around them if it's a one-on-one class. And then typically if it's a group, I just kind of tie everybody's wants and needs in together and make everybody feel included. In an inclusive environment, everybody's more willing and people are talking to each other, have a little joke so people feel like they're bonding and stuff like that. So it's definitely building a great learning environment for people.
Yeah, I definitely think getting to know your person that you're working with and getting to know their reasoning is a big factor into definitely helping them grow and learn in this environment. What's something that you can have some or you would suggest someone do every day to improve number one, their firearm safety. Number two, their shooting stuff they could do at home, like dry fire drills, drawing drills. Like what's the most important drill that someone can run at home every day to improve their abilities?
I would say definitely safety. You should eat, sleep, and breathe it. So it should be one of those things that you go over it so much that you think about safety when you're sleeping. And for drills, I would say the most important thing that people should do is when you, especially if you get new gear, but let's just say you're starting off and you only have one setup. You should be trying your best to draw that firearm in all different articles of clothing that you're wearing. If you get a new holster, the holster should not be outside until you successfully can do maybe a good 25 draws. Or now that might be for the people that's really intense with it. Now let's say out of 10, you do best out of 10. If you can't be on the higher end of six, a higher good draws, maybe it's not ready for you to carry that outside yet. So you have to gauge yourself because if you can't perform and get this gun out more 6 out of 10 times when you're calm, you're in the house and you're relaxed. In real life, it's not going to work out for you because you're going to fall. Like people think you're going to rise to the occasion. No, you're going to fall to your training. So if you train so, your results are going to be terrible. People that train to be great, when things happen, you're good. So it's just one of those things. You just want to, though, that's one of the most important because the gun does you no good if you can't get it into the fight. So I would say one of the biggest things is practicing that draw because people switch which way they carry. Oh, I got sweatpants on today. I'm gonna carry appendix. Okay, I'm wearing this. So the way that these pants fit me, I'm gonna carry it 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. So every time that you switch something like that, or you switch your clothing, if it's getting colder, now you got to put on a hoodie. So if you're wearing a hoodie and you've never practiced drawing from concealment with a hoodie on, it's different. If you're wearing a jacket, and these are things that people have to think about. When you carry a gun, you have to be mindful of everything that you wear and how you're going to get to that firearm. Like I notice a lot of people that I know that carry guns and they do it. Man, we have a cold chest. You see somebody with a jacket and a hoodie on. And the hoodie is only because the jacket needs to be open so they can access this firearm if need be. So you
Yeah.
have to cater to what is going to give you the best situation and the best case to get that gun into the fight if you need it. And
Yeah, I'm
people seem to think
definitely.
that that's paranoid. That's not being paranoid. That's being prepared.
Yeah, I'm definitely guilty of the switching up where I'm carrying if I'm wearing sweatpants or jeans or whatever. But I do practice my draws regularly. And one thing I noticed, man, and I wasn't expecting it when fall came around one year. I practiced with the flannel on, and that was ridiculous. That tripped me
There's
up
no
more times
give.
than I can-
You're right.
There's no
That
give on
tripped me
those
up.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, that tripped me up more times than I can count, and just finding workarounds for wearing a flannel because I'm not giving up my flannels. I'm not sacrificing that, but I'll find a workaround.
Yeah, and
And
and that's what it's about.
What do
you
you
know,
think about pocket carry?
So I had a student one day, and this is probably one of my students that is trained, and he always comes to the range with these ideas. And one day he came to the range, um, and when he came that day, I did a concealed carry class for a couple guys that he knew. He brought them to me. One was a football player in the NFL, um, and his brother, and then one of their friends. So I'm doing it, and then he at the end he is like, "Yeah, I got this little pocket rocket." I was like, "Why?" And I was like, "It's in your pocket. Now you don't feel comfortable, so it's in your pocket and it's in his sleeve." And he was like, "Have you ever tried it?" I said, "No, because in my opinion, it's stupid." He said, "Do you feel you could do it?" I said, I possibly." I said, "I never tried it." So he said, "I mean, you always say sometimes you just got to get comfortable being uncomfortable, right?" I said, 100%. He said, "I want to see you go through a scenario with it." I said, "Give me the stupid gun." So I put the stupid gun in my pocket. So then he noticed I started switching stuff around. I took everything out of that pocket, put it in my other pocket. He said,
Yeah.
"What are you doing?" I said, "I'm staging it." He said, "I thought you never did this before." I haven't. But I mean, if I would do it, not it's still stupid,
common
but
sense.
at least I'm setting this pocket up to win.
You don't want
So then
nothing
we
else
did
in
it.
that pocket.
Right. So then we go through the scenario, and then like I always like doing live back and forth, like we're interacting. So he like, "Yo, man, I need some help." I'm like, "I can't help you. I don't got the type of help. You don't want no help from me." So he's like, "Yo, man, what you got in your pockets?" I said, "Nothing that you want." I don't have nothing. I was like, I'm trying to make $1 out of 15 cents. He said, nah, man, run them pockets. And I'm like, yo, I don't have anything. Now, mind you, we're in the range, so he's behind me, but I'm facing the target while we're still having this interaction. And he's like, man, you don't want to give it up. I can run your pockets. And I got it in, got off of the X, threw the little case off, and then engaged. And then he was like, well, you hit the target, you got off the X. And I was like, yeah, but that's stupid. I said, all of this extra work when it could have just been, boom, you're cooked. I was like, this took me like, my first shot probably would have been like 2.5 seconds. That's too long. I was like, if I just had to get a garment out the way and shoot, I'm at like right over a second at best, like with a little lag. I'm like a 1.10.
One of the most memorable clips I have is there's a video online, and this dude was on a podcast, and he was a former rapper, or I guess kind of still current rapper, right? And they're sitting there just talking in a room, and the guy reaches in his pocket to get a lighter, and next thing you know, you hear bang, and and a shot went off. Dude was reaching for a lighter, didn't realize the lighter was right next to him, but thought it was in his pocket and pulled the trigger on his little pocket carry.
Yeah,
Ever since then, I've never agreed with pocket carry to begin with, but ever since then, I really never felt safer on anyone pocket carrying.
Yeah, it's like,
well, there was the guy at Little Caesars too.
You got to have it in a sheath or something.
Yeah, right.
That's like if a lady says, I'm going to put this in my pocketbook. With everything else, so a girl said that one time, and I said, you don't put it in there with, no holster. She's like, well, no, because then I got to pull it out. I said, okay. I said, well, take this shirt pistol, put it in your bag. And she said, okay. So I said, understand. I said, at some point, and I said, I'm gonna go outside, and I'm gonna come back as a robber at one point. So I go out the classroom. I come back in. She opens her bag. I said, what time is it? And she was like, oh. So she gives me the time. I said, okay. I walk out the classroom. I come back in, and I just look around, don't say nothing. And she's opening the bag. And I just walk out. So then I run in the classroom. Give me your fucking bag. She drops the purse. Trying to fumble and get it off of her arm. And then I'm like, so now what happened? She said, I'm going to pick it up. I said, well, it's too late now. If I kept running, you going to wrestle me for the purse. You think you going to win?
Nope.
And I said, or you're going to bend down to pick it up. I could just run up, kick you in the face, take it and run. Now I got your money, your wallet, and your gun. Jackpot.
Yeah, when we were talking to my wife about getting her concealed carry, she started looking at the purses specifically for concealed carrying for women, right? And my argument to her was, you leave your purse every fucking where. Okay, it's in the car half the time, and you forget to bring it inside. And I'm not trashing my wife. I love my wife, right? But I was just, as an argument, I'm like, you leave it everywhere. You never know where it's at. You don't keep track of it, right? And all it takes is for you to set it down in the shopping cart at a store, and you reach over to grab something off a shelf, and now someone's got your gun.
Yeah, yeah, man.
I don't think,
and there's so many options.
I don't think a lot of people realize if you got to use your gun, most of the time somebody got the drop on you, so you at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
You're already behind the curve.
Yep. Because you have to react anyway, so.
Right. So you have to hope that something else happens. Like, and that's one of the things that I like to do when we give people scenarios and stuff like that too. Like, I actually we did a scenario in the classroom with blue guns. And it was like, these weren't even surplus. These was like some cheap, I forgot what the company was. They were cheaper than SIR pistols. But like, you pull the trigger and the little dot go off. So what they did is they simulated robbing me, right? And it was two of them. So they come up with guns. So they seen the surf pistol on me. So they're pointing. They got me. So they're like, "Yo, get the money." I'm like, "It's oh yeah, we just got a new gun." So as he was grabbing the gun, right, and I said, "Look, man, don't hurt me." And the other guy behind me, my other dude, he's like, "Yo, man, turn around." So as he was grabbing the surf pistol off my waist, he put the gun down. So I grabbed his hand with the gun in it, pulled forward. He pulled the trigger, so he shot his buddy in the head. Then I just twisted it a little bit, and I was like, then I'd have just took the gun from him. I was like, at this point, I'd have broke your finger, and I'd have just twisted it around. As long as it wasn't pointing at me, I don't care. And I was like, you just shot him in the face, so I ain't worried about him right now. And then his
You
buddy was
Jackie
like,
Chan
bro,
his ass.
and his buddy was like, how did he shoot me with your gun? You shot me. He was like, no, but see, when he pulled me forward, I went to pull back, and my finger just tightened up. He was like, so exactly. He led the gun to my face, and you pulled the trigger. But it was one of those
That's
things
movie
I told
shit.
him, yeah, but it was, and I told him, I was like, I didn't know what y'all were gonna do. I said, so you forced me to react, and I said, realistically, I only did that because you gave me that option. When I seen that gun wasn't pointed at me, I said, okay, I just got to make it worthwhile. And I was like, if you get shot in the face in that tee box, you're not going to be able to shoot anyway. So all I needed to know was, and I was like, an instant reaction. If I pull him up and the gun is pointed at you, he's going to want to jerk back. If you jerk back, you're going to tighten up. You tighten up in your fingers in that trigger, well, you're going to shoot the gun. So now he just did favor for me. And now all I got to do is just hold it in battery and twist it. Now you're good. Now you're cooked. And I told him, I was like, realistically, if you try and rob me, I'm giving it up. I said, now in that situation, that I was like, I probably would have did that in real life because I felt like y'all were rookies and y'all taking my gun, so that was super personal. You ain't just say give me the money. You went after the gun.
Yeah.
So, and then you gave me the opportunity. You asked me to send you to the upper room by your buddy's hands, and then do what I got to do to him. Because you ain't even get the gun out of my waist. But they seen that way, the action beats reaction every time. Now a lot of these times I tell people it ain't about being the hero. That I can replace everything. Don't nobody want to lose no money because you got cash. That's why I hate cash. Because you take cash, the cash is gone. You catch somebody for $300. Look, they can say they got robbed. Guess what the bank ain't gonna do? Say, oh, we're so sad. We're gonna grant you $300. No, that $300 is gone. So yeah, that's why I'm not big on carrying cash. Like, rob me, okay? Take this little $30. That's cool. All of these debit cards, I can cancel that. The police report, I'm gonna get that money back if you spend something.
Yep.
It's just the inconvenience. So, but that's one of the things, people just have to be smart. But once you understand kind of how things go, and you get to, like when I see certain videos and stuff, like, and I've showed people in classes certain videos where it was a video where I actually showed some cops because that I was training. And they're like, yeah, well, I said, so what is your goal? If you tell, and we go through the role play, then put that down or I'm going to shoot. And then I'll walk towards them and see how close they get before they actually shoot. And then we're out there with surf pistols and they get to choose when they decide to shoot. And then sometimes they might be like, they'll fire 2 shots and I'll stop and then I'll start moving again. And they don't even shoot. They're just standing there like, what are you doing? I was like, well, I just stabbed you with this broken bottle because you let me walk up after you shot me twice. What did you stop for? Well, you stopped. No, I paused. I didn't stop. You thought I was done. In my mind, I just said, this motherfucker just shot me. Well, we both going to the upper room.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now I'm more determined than ever. And then they're like, well, I mean, well, you know, they say. I said, who is they say? You fired 2 shots in the sess. He was like, well, you know, kind of the sergeants in the... I don't care what they saying. They're not really outside. If they tell you that they're not really outside. I said, that's why I get paid. He said, well, how? He's like, when do we stop shooting? I said, when the threat stops.
Yeah.
And I said, if you fall and you still got a gun in your hand, you either let it go or I'm going to give you some more.
So, like, on the law side of that, right? If someone falls, they still have the gun in their hand, and you're still shooting them, even though they're dead. isn't that going to like get you in shit? Because they're going to
It, it
say like,
it depends on how you can articulate it. Funny
okay,
story is the agent that was working in a gas station. Now they had this guy that was a known problem because he used to sell hot dogs and burgers and things like that. But he would pull up in the gas station parking lot. First off, why would you even want a grill near gas pumps?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
But whatever. So the gas station had a problem because it's like, bro, you're on our property and you're selling stuff that we sell. Like, go over there. So then they brought agents in, and the agents are like, one guy banned him. So he noticed that one guy that banned him wasn't there. So he was walking up looking in the store. So the agent knows because the other guy sent him a picture. So he walks up to the door, and the agent goes to approach him and say, "Yo, my man." Went to put his hand. He put his hand, "Man, don't you fucking touch me." And as he said it, now mind you, the agent, and this is why I say when people get lax. From the video, I said it was a lack of training. My buddy was like, "How do you know?" And I said, "Before we even go somewhere, you're approaching somebody. You have a shotgun on your chest. That's cool. But if I'm the guy approaching you, I know you're a rookie." He said, "How? You can't even see his front." I said, "I don't have to. I can see the grip of the shotgun. Why is the grip of the shotgun facing up? That means that if you even intended to use it, you have to flip it over and then use it. By the time you do that, it's slung around your body. Wherever I manipulate that sling, your body is going to go."
so
And he was like,
explain that real quick. You said it was pointing. It was pointing down,
so
or his grip
no,
was down.
he had the shotgun across his chest, but it was upside down. So the grip was like facing the ceiling.
Oh, got
So
you,
he would have had to grab it, flip it over, and then use it. As opposed to having it
got you.
where if you and it's the thing. This is why I say some people they get into these positions and they feel as though because you have a firearm, people are gonna listen. That's not true because you can't just shoot people.
Yeah,
Now, in this instance, his shotgun was upside down. So now he goes as the guy, "Don't fucking touch me, man." So when a guy does that, I pause the video again. My buddy is like, "Why do you keep stopping it?" I was like, "Because dude got a gun." He said, "I know. That's why I want you to watch the video." I said, "I know. Let's take this section by section." He has the gun. And I said, "Now I'm curious to see where this goes." We press play. The dude then pulls the gun out and said, "Don't you fucking touch me, bro." Now he has the gun at low ready. The
yeah,
agent has a shotgun that's upside down, and your handgun is still in the holster, and he beat you to the draw. So he met you with the aggression of pushing your hand down. When, if I can see in this video, when he pushes your hand down and he had a gun on him, soon as you push my hand down and I seen the gun, it would have been a step back, gun coming out like, "Yo, don't touch it. If you touch it, I'm going to shoot you."
yeah.
Now, he didn't think proactively. So now the guy has the gun out in his hand. Now, I'm not sure what he was thinking of drawing this gun, but he drew it and said, "Don't fucking touch me, bro." So then the agent is backing up and draws his gun and starts shooting. Now, the gunfire starts. Now the agent is off camera, but you see
Mm-hmm.
all of the shots. You see the window behind the guy crack. You see the guy like, "Oh," so you
Mm-hmm.
can see him get hit a couple times. So when he falls, now the agent dumps the magazine.
Yeah.
So the guy falls. Now he's on the ground. The gun is still in his hand. And he says, "Oh," because you can hear he's like, "Oh, really?" Now, mind you, the agent had a shotgun, so his handgun is empty. I guess he threw that in a holster because as soon as you hear the guy like, "Oh, really?" Doom, doom, doom. And I'm sitting here like,
Damn.
okay,
Damn.
this is crazy. Now, but the whole time, the gun is still in his hand. He says, after the dude stops, he says, "Really again?" He, douche. Now, after the second one, you see him like kind of, and the gun drops. He tosses it. you still hear douche, and you see him like put his leg up trying to push himself out the door, and douche. Now, in the
Jeez.
course of that, he shot Buddy in the face. Now, the dude didn't make it.
I
Now,
mean, god dang. If he made it,
yeah.
holy shit.
Now, he didn't make it, but the only thing that saved that agent that day was the fact that he got shot. So in the midst of him shooting at dude shot back a couple times
Mm-hmm.
and hit him in his leg. That was the only saving grace that kept him from avoiding charges. But and the only reason also is because after the dude tossed the gun down, you fired 3 or 4 more shots. I can't remember that, but it was like at least 3
Yeah.
with a shotgun.
Yeah.
And the last one, you shot him in his face. Now, and I actually got a cell phone video of somebody that was in the store after it happened. And somebody else was trying to get in the story, like, what happened? He's like, yo, man, call the cops, man. He's like, this dude dying, man. And then it was a whole thing. But in that case, he got shot, so he got lucky. Because typically, if you now, and it could go different ways, right? Because it depends on how you articulate things. Nobody that hasn't been in those stressful situations can understand. Now, when you're in it, this whole video may have lasted 15 seconds. But for that agent, it was 20 minutes. Because when you're in these situations, time moves so slow. And for him to get out, and as you get this tunnel vision, because when you pick fight over flight, you are going to fight until you can't fight no more. And that's the one thing he did right. But when the dude threw that gun down, you should have stopped.
Yeah.
But since he was injured, now I can also say, listen, I was under duress. I was just been shot. So I didn't know. I needed to make sure he wasn't getting up so I could tend to myself. And I mean, he was literally after the situation, because I remember I got a cell phone video from the guy that was in the store too. And as he was telling the one guy, he said, man, the officer back here shot. And when he walked back there, he said, yo, man, you good? You need anything? He's just sitting on the floor, Indian style, like shotgun sitting on the floor, handgun on the floor. He's like, I'm just waiting for my boss to come. Because you could, like, he was in shock from what happened. And he knew he got shot, but it was the calm. Because panic just makes you bleed more.
Yeah.
But it was the calm, and he had to process what really just happened. And that's why people be like, oh, yeah, oh, if this happened, I'm going to do this and that. No, you're probably not. You're probably not. Especially if you've never been in, you're probably not. And it's one of those things that when you've been through certain things, you know that, like, when somebody says, oh, if this happened to me, I'm going to, no, you're not. Because there's certain things, I don't care how tough you are, it's certain things you will never get used to. And there's certain things you'll never forget. One, you will never forget seeing a gun muzzle flash and it's pointed at you and hearing bullets whiz past you. And in training, it's not too, I mean, outside of doing some force on force, you can't really prepare people for that situation until you really get active. Like, and I'm actually part of a, we're doing a force on force training academy in Philly. Because there's a lot of people that think it's going to go a certain way. And we're going to let them come find out. We'll see if it go that way.
So when you say force on force, is it going to be like actual like combat, toward like hand to hand, or?
Nah, it's just going to be all guns. So it's going to be different situations. So depending on what you're doing, like you might have a situation where we're going to do, I have, because they're letting me create some scenarios to do my own thing. And I'm gonna be doing it for the academy. So like you might be like, man, we'll put you in a stressful situation. Like you'll go in, we'll have your wife go in, and it'll be other people in there, and we'll be like, yo, man, a dude in there he took a couple people hostage. And it's two of them in there and they got guns and they're
Mm-hmm.
shooting people. So then now you like, my wife in here. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we tell you. So now you could run in and just not be smart, and then they see you come in and they're just gonna shoot you. Now you're shot, and it'll be other people in there that are just in there. So
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those things that we're putting you in a situation where you're stressed, but you got to think. And now you can't just go and point a gun at somebody because you don't know what they're doing. You have to literally look at what's going on. And we told you they got a hostage and they just shot some people. So you might run and see somebody get shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then you might go to engage them, and the other person, you shoot them, and then their buddy shoot you. So it's one of those things that we want to put people in a situation where we could put you in these crazy situations. So depending on how you come out of it, we could talk to you at the end and look, this is what you could have did better and things like that. Then when we start working with people on clearing the house, because we're building a shoe house that we could move around and stuff like that and change it up. But
Mm-hmm.
we teach you how to, go through a house. Then we could do a home invasion thing where you're inside and you have to defend it from people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Because these are things that you get these things, and even so we're going to be doing airsoft and simunition because they both hurt. Simunition hurts a lot worse.
Yeah.
But we're going to do these things because everybody might say, oh, it's just airsoft. I did this one man CQB class with a military guy down in Georgia at a closed down insane asylum. And it's
Oh,
funny
jeez.
because when you're learning, one man CQB is terrible. But when everybody was just going to show these techniques, everybody's moving. You think you a Navy SEAL. Okay, I see you. Until it was a threat. And then all of that, you're going to commit and you're going in here. Everybody would commit until they hear that gun go off and they hear that toof. Then it's like, oh, yeah, now it's real. So now we're putting people in these scenarios that when you get shot at, you're gonna see what happens. Because if I'm playing the bad guy and I shoot at you and you step back and you freeze, I'm gonna keep shooting you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot you like 4 or 5 times and be like, well, and you're dead. So it's gonna be one of those things because we want people to understand what is because that's the only way we can really simulate being shot at. And I mean, it's
Yeah.
still not comparable to being really shot at with a real gun.
Yeah, exactly. Is it one of those
But-
rumble packs that is like goes across your waist?
Oh, no. You're really going to get shot with BBs.
Oh, okay. I got you.
So you're going to know.
Got you. Yeah.
You're going to feel it.
Because the range near my old house and the gun tree, they have a simulator in there. When I went to go do it, there was they were broken, but the second time I went, they had it, and I told them to crank it all the way up. Then yeah, that hurt. And it gives you like a shock. It's like, but it's like you only feel it here in your belly, but it like radiates all over the place.
Yo, listen, when you turn it up, oh, man. So the first time, and I hadn't did one in a long time. So me and Sully the shooter went, we was at Guntree. Shout out to my guy Full Metal Sensei because he invited us down. So we go over there and we're hanging out. Man, I'm like, come on, Sully, let's go in here. Let's do it. So man, Sully like, I was like, and then he sounds like, yeah, it's gonna shock you. Sully like, hell nah. I'm like, yeah, bro, it's gonna get real. And I'm like, it's not gonna hurt. So the screens start coming on and it's like dark. So we're doing something. And I was
Yeah.
moving and I went to turn and I got shot. And the thing zapped me and caught me over. I dropped down to a knee and Sully like, oh, hell no, get up. I'm like, I am getting up. But it caught me off guard. But you feel it. You definitely feel it.
Yeah.
And that's how you know, because a lot of times that's why you need to turn it up. But some people try and act like I ain't get hit. Yes, you did. But when it's turned up, you're gonna react.
Yeah. Were you
Because even
in
when I
Owens
watch the
Mills?
video of me doing it, and you see me like, you can tell when it happens.
Were you at the gun tree in Owens Mills?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah, that's where I went. And then TikTok actually banned me that day for a week because I was driving and talking about that I was gonna go do that training, and I guess me saying with what's called a fake firearm, and I heard firearm, I was like, beep, beep.
Done.
Gumtree is nice though. It's just they only have the indoor stuff rolling.
Yo, listen, Gumtree is crazy. They got the cafeteria. They got multiple ranges. They got 100-yard indoor range,
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy. Then they got the MMA stuff. They got an actual
Yeah.
MMA cage. They got a
Yep.
boxing ring.
Yep.
They got
Stanley
archery.
combatives.
Yeah, it's crazy. Gumtree is like it's a lot.
Yeah.
You literally could go spend a weekend just have a training weekend and do bow and arrow, crossbow,
Yeah.
shooting, MMA. It's boxing. It's crazy. And then
Yeah.
go get on the simulator and see what happens. And then after you're done and you're tired, go have a soda, play some pool.
Yeah. One of the things that I
Their
noticed during
food's
that
actually really
simulator.
good.
Yeah, their food is actually really good. But
Oh yeah.
during the simulator, the one thing I noticed was how much my hands were hurting. Like,
Was gripping the hell out of the gun.
no, it
Yeah.
wasn't that. It was just I've never held a gun for that long, and you know what I mean. Like trying to do stuff and look, and especially the second time because I was actually getting zapped. The first time I was like, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, you got shot by the guy over here on the corner." I was like, "Oh okay." The second time when he shot me, I felt it. So it's different.
And you know what I love about those simulators because it puts you in these situations, right? So me and Sully were doing like police scenarios. But they had this like a million scenarios on there.
Yeah.
So you could do ones and it's real realistic. Like we did was church security responding to a mass
Hmm.
shooter, where all of these screens are opening up as it goes in, and there's so much going on. And what people don't realize is that in real life, you really have to process so many things like that.
Hmm. Yep.
And I remember one day it was a agent that asked me could me and my partner back him up for a let out. And I'm like, I'll think about it. So we wrap up. We're about to go home. And I'm telling my partner, I'm going to slide up here and do this. He's like, nah, bro. He's like, they're not even built for that. I said, that's why I'm going to go. I was like, if they was built like our team, then we wouldn't need to. And he was like, nah, bro, I ain't trying to back him up. I was like, all right, well, we dapped each other. I was like, let me know when you get home. I'm about to slide up here. So he just looking at me. He like, come on, bro, let's go. I said, what? You ain't got to go. He said, I'm not leaving you out here with them. They clowns, bro. I said, okay. So we go up there. And in fact, they were clowns. And I don't say that like they were just like, I mean, I'll tell you why they were clowns because of how things played out. So then we get up there. It's probably like 70 people out here. We park up. Y'all gotta go. Y'all gotta go. So we're pushing everybody down this one way. Now, it was me and my guy, Josh. He got a shotgun. I'm just regular handgun. So the door to this place is like right here. And three of their guys are just like, come on, we need people to move. But me and Josh like, yo, y'all gotta move. Let's go. So next thing you know, all we hear is pop, 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 pop. So now I'm gun out. Josh is shotgun up. We're going through this crowd of people running towards us. Like
Jeez.
all of that, all people saying like, "Oh yeah, you can't put your gun up." I hear that. I ain't trying to hear none of that in real life. Cause listen, my gun was right here. Cause if you popped through there and you had a gun in your hand, I was putting you down. But when you're in this situation, everybody that is walking past me, I'm trying to scan everybody's hands as I'm passing them. I got people bumping me. I'm running through people bumping me. And these are real life situations. This isn't like if I shoot somebody, it's like, all right, get up, you'll be all right, walk it off. Nah, this is real life. So this is real life. You need to identify the threat. So once we start getting through the crowd, a car pulls off. So I'm looking at the car like, all right, I ain't see a gun in his hand. So we're scanning. So I'm turning around where everybody ran to make sure nobody behind us with a gun. And it was two other people on the other side. So Josh is facing that way. I'm facing the opposite way where everybody just ran, and we're scanning. And then the girl's like, "Oh my God, they shot me." So then I scan. I'm scanning. I'm like, "All right, well, we're clear because everybody done ran." So we
Mm-hmm.
walk up to her, and I'm like, "You shot?" She was like, "Yeah, they shot me in my leg." So I look. I said, "Okay." I look at it. Josh like, "She good?" To 22. So I don't know. She's not really bleeding, but it's a 22. We don't know
Mm-hmm.
where the bullet is. Now, mind you, now notice I said me and Josh were moving through that crowd. Because the agents that said, "Hey, can you back us up?" When the shots got fired, they ran in the building, shut the door, and locked.
Okay.
Everybody is not built for this. And the only reason we didn't fist fight them is because by the time they came out, the cops was about to come. And we weren't secure of the scene being okay. So we're still on alert. Like I still got a gun in my hand, and then the dude want to come out. Man, you can put your gun away. I said, "Says the person that ran in the bar, don't talk to me."
Dude, that's
And then he
crazy.
goes to pick the girl up. I'm like, "Put her down." "Oh, well, she got shot." "Okay, put her down." I was like, "Heroes don't run inside. She could walk. Let her friends help her." I was like,
That,
why don't you go in the bar and call somebody?" So he walk off talking to the guy because I didn't even know him. He wanted to talk to the agent that knew me. And the agent's like, "Yo, big, save it. I don't want to hear it." So then the cops come and we're talking to them. We're like, "Yeah, this happened." So then all of us, me, Josh, and the cops, we're out looking for bullet casings. Because I'm like, well, clearly they were shooting because she shot. And then
mm-hmm.
we're looking, we're like, "Yo, this is crazy." So then later they're like, "Well, we got somebody pulled over." And they was like, "You know the car if you seen it?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I jump in the car with them. We ride past. I'm like, "That's not the same color." They're like, "All right, you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." So then a call goes over the radio while we're all there. And it was a guy that just pulled up to the hospital with GSW. So
Mm-hmm.
then they're like, "All right." So then me and Josh sitting there, they're like, "Yeah, we got to go talk to the detectives." And I'm like, I look at Josh and he just shaking his head. I was like, "It's okay, bro. I'll go." You can go home. So now I go down there and talk to the detective. We're sitting there talking, and I'm like, and they're like, "I get it." Because when we're talking about what happened on our end, and they're like, "Yo, the guy at the hospital is a Vic." I was like, "Well, was he driving this?" She was like, "Yeah." And it was like, he said somebody came up, put the gun in his window, and shot him, and he pulled off. And he was talking to his girl out the other window when everything happened, which was the girl that happened to get shot in the leg.
Oh,
So, you know, when you go through these situations, right? I feel it's like when you get in the classroom, you could bring a little bit more authenticity to it when people like, "Well, if this happened, I'm gonna do this."
yeah, yeah.
Okay, sound good. Maybe you will.
Yeah.
But I've had an agent that begged me to put him on a detail. We put him on, and randomly we was having a good streak. And this night he came. I guess it was the test, and we was working for about 15 minutes, and somebody got shot. I actually said he seen it too, but he was behind me at the time when I started facing the shooter and victim.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we're sitting there and we're all calling out, I see the Vic, no eyes on the shooter. Then I hear a couple of my guys, right side clear, center clear. Cool. This other guy that just begged me to be out here, I don't hear nothing. But I'm facing where the shooting happened. So I can't turn around and see what's going on. I
Yeah.
can only base it off of what I hear. So I'm like, still, the Vic is down, still no eyes on the shooter. Right side clear, center clear, quiet. So I'm like, okay. So then PPD pull up. I'm like, all right, PPD just scooped the Vic, still no eyes on the shooter. And they're right side clear, center clear. Cool. So then all these people pull up and I'm like, all right, PPD has flooded the scene, left side clear. I turn around, my man is standing behind me with a good stance. You know how they tell you keep your feet shoulder length apart,
Yeah.
knees slightly bent.
Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly how he was standing with his hand on the gun.
So he never even
If I
drew his weapon?
No, he was just standing there, deer in headlights. I should have took a picture Because if I could define what a solid stance looked like, he had it.
He just never made it past it.
Wouldn't have did that for him in that case. But the stance was good. He practiced it a lot at the range, and when it came time, he nailed the stance. He failed everything else, but he nailed the stance. But and that's one of the things that people don't understand. Like we always say, have a good grip, a good stance, and all of that. Realistically, when the ish hit the fan, you're not going to be standing still. So when we start getting into defensive shooting, you're going to shoot in unconventional positions because you can't choose to say, when people say, "Oh, I'm a right-handed shooter. Why are we shooting from my left?" Because what if I shoot you on your right shoulder? What you gonna do? You gonna give up?
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to shoot with my left. So do you think that's the opportune time to learn how to shoot with your left hand after you've been shot? Then they're like, no. Okay, so that's why we're working with the left. Now let's get busy.
Yeah,
because people
and whoever has never shot with their left hand, like go and shoot. It's completely different. Like it feels completely different. Like
especially a rifle.
yeah.
Oh, see.
Oh
you
yeah.
Start getting people the shoulder bump and switch shots with a rifle.
Do you remember?
Listen,
no, Rob. Hold on a
looking
second.
funny.
No, so back in the day,
Completely forget
right?
how to hold a rifle.
No, so back in the day, I was trying to figure out if I can shoot left-handed because I'm left eye dominant, but I'm right hand dominant, right? And
me and cross dominant.
Yeah. And me and Rob where the heck were we at? It was an outdoor range, and it's at a 100-yard. Yeah, Hat Baker in Westminster in Maryland, right? And so listen to this shit. I have it on my left shoulder, right? I'm using my right hand on the trigger, and I got my hand like this. It was the most retarded shit that I could have ever did. And Rob is just sitting there laughing at me. He's like, yo, look at what you're doing. And I'm like, what? I'm trying to shoot. He's like, look at what you're doing. And I just looked down. I was like, I don't even want to shoot this way. I can't. I am not left eye. I mean, left arm.
So, the funny thing about that? So it is a way to do that. It would be like a shoulder bump. Mm-hmm. So if it's like, I'm temporarily going to fire rounds from that side, I'll just bring my rifle over so I could just kind of lean out, and then it's just do. And then after that, if I'm moving, let's say, into that room, then after I lean in and shoot whatever needs to be shot, once I go in, I'm going right to my right side. That was just to kind of quick assess, shoot if I need to, and then entry and go back to my dominant hand. Or you can bump it and then trade hands. But it's things that you got to practice. It sounds good.
Yeah.
But when you've never done it, and I've made people do the shoulder bump, and they're just like, how do I look? I was like, not good, but it's okay. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. And once you get used to it, once you embrace this suck, and you see what you're capable of when you're doing something that's unconventional for you, the confidence that people leave with is insane. And that's the moment that I love. When I hear people like, I can't do it. Okay, well, keep going. And I remember I had these guys out. There were some big dudes too. Mm-hmm. And we did this combat pistol course, and I was like, listen, and not everybody gets to this level of class with me, because you really got to train to the point of, I know that you get safety. I know that even if you're gassed, you're going to be safe. So I had them do one thing where they had to engage, and it was 3 targets. And I told them I would call out targets. Now, what I would do was, as they were up there, I was like, run up and hit center target. So as they ran up to engage, I would run behind them. And then they know center target and need 5 shots. So as soon as they're like, 1, 2, I might grab their vest and pull them back. And then they're like adjusting. And I'm moving them left and right, and I'm calling out targets. So even regardless of me moving them, you still have to listen to be able to engage what I'm telling you. And it's such a chaotic thing. And everybody's like, well, why the fuck would you do that? Because when I put you in that type of chaotic situation, and you're like, bro, I missed everything. And then
Yeah.
when you walk up to the targets and see that you got the hits, the confidence that it builds, guys, is if you're in the shit, you know that, oh, I could survive here. And that's what it's about. Then after that, we worked out when people were tired. Then I made everybody do 100 jumping jacks because we were outside. So you had to do 100, and these are big dudes. So they had to do 100 jumping jacks. Then I left your gun 40 yards in front of you. Actually, no, this range is longer. It was like 70 yards. So then you had to do a sprint after you do 100 jumping jacks, and you have to sprint a good like 40, 50 yards to get your gun. Sometimes I put the mag in. Sometimes I left the mag out. So you had to charge it. Sometimes I put the mag in and didn't chamber around. So then you had to pick it up and just like click, and you got to tap. Then after you do that, I gave you a certain amount of shots, and you had to engage 3 targets. You do that, you holster. Then you have to run back, get behind barrels, shoot, transition hands, shoot from the other side. Then I had you come out, walk the target down a little bit. Then you had to run, holster, run up, get on the ground, shoot around something on the ground, change position on the ground. And then I set it up so they ran out of ammo. Then your mags are like 40 yards behind you. So then you got to run back to get your mags. And then after you get them, then it's like, all right, final stage, you got to engage. So you get it, they're feeling good. As soon as they thought it was over, now I'm grabbing and moving you around while you're trying to engage the targets. And then you go, because you got 2 mags. So you go through one, you got to reload with me doing all of that. And it was funny, these big dudes, they was gassed. Like one dude, he actually fell in the middle of it while he was on the ground. He figured that he got his last shots in. And then he just transitioned to his left hand and just laid on his back. I said, what are you doing? Get the fuck up here. He's like, I'm out of bullets. I'm dead anyway. At this point, all I could do was throw the gun. But he gave it his all. He stayed in there until he was out of bullets. And that's the mentality, because a lot of people say, oh, I'm tired. It's like even when we mix stop the bleed with training. When people putting a tourniquet on somebody, as soon as they're like, they stop.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times I'll let them. And then they're like, all right, they're going to engage. I'm like, no, stop, ceasefire. What happened? And and a lot of times I could put 2 fingers in the tourniquet. I'm like, he's still bleeding.
2 fingers? That's crazy.
And I said, so now you going to let him die because he said ouch. And then they're like, so, and then everybody knows once you make me do it, it's going to be tight. So then I'm like, I'll show you. And then he's laying there like, fuck. And I crank it, and he's like, I'm like, see, now we're getting there. One more good turn. And I said, and I locked it. I said, now put your finger in there. He was like, I can't. I said, good. Now help his ass up and keep going. And then now you're helping him with the tourniquet on his leg, and you have to engage while backing up. So when you do these stressful things, it stresses people out when they're going through it. But when they get through, they leave with a new confidence because you help them break through a ceiling that they didn't think they could do.
Yeah.
And I mean, I done made cops forget badge numbers, and the badges they had a picture of the badge on their shirt. I hadn't even do it, so I said, "What is your badge number?" He's like, I said, "Holster. Give me your badge number." He was like, "It's I was like, "It's on your shirt." And he's like, "It's such and such, such and such." And then I was like, "Threat, target 3," and they're like, "Wait, what? Threat? You want to die?" And then they're like, "Okay," but you do these stressful things because people don't understand that in real life, it's not going to be like the movies. It's not going to be everything stops moving except the bad guy. That's not realistic. And so when you put people in these chaotic environments and they see that, damn, I was able to get hits under this, it's a new confidence that they have, but it's also a new respect they gain for training.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, bro, what was this? I'm like, intense training.
Do you include?
You might go home and need some icy hot, but you know.
Do you include writing times when people put tourniquets down, like when they're doing tourniquets, writing the time that they put them on?
So typically, what I'll have people do when you put a tourniquet on, I'll have you pull out your phone and take a screenshot. Because, and the reason I do that is because if you get conditioned to trying to pull out a pen and write it, right? If you're in a situation where it's active gunfire and you tourniquet somebody, I don't want you to be so hell-bent that you're ready to, let me write this down, as opposed to grab your phone, screenshot, you back in it. Because the screenshot takes no time to do, and it'll document the time.
Yeah.
A lot of times, your brain is all over the place. So I don't want you to be laser focused on writing the time down. Take your phone out, screenshot. Now you know exactly what time because you see the screenshot. Then if somebody's like, well, what time was the tourniquet on? Wait, hold on. This is the time. So now you can show them. Because like, okay, this is when I took the screenshot. So it makes it easier and you can efficiently manage everything instead of trying to write and then switch hands with the gun because most your dominant hand you write with it. So then you want to transition to your left to try and write it down. It's easier to pull your phone out with your support hand, screenshot, phone back away, help injured party get wherever they need to be or protect them or put shots on bad guys. It's something that'll keep you more focused on the fight for real time.
So what's the importance of the time that the tourniquet got put on?
Just so the doctors know when they get to the hospital. They said that you can actually be tourniqueted for a long time without losing a limb. Like they used to say, tourniquet a person at every 30 minutes you loosen it, but doctors and surgeons said that's false. So you tourniquet somebody, you leave them tourniqueted and get them out of there and get them medical as soon as you can. But at least the doctor know, all right, this tourniquet been on for 35, 45 minutes. So he knows what he's looking at when he takes it off.
Yeah, like, so going back to what you said about, like, the confidence that you leave, like, people leave your training with, when me and Rob, like, the first ever, like, kind of serious training that we ever did is when we went to H's in Virginia. And, like, beforehand, I was like, I could do this, you know what I mean? I had, like, this, like, false sense of confidence until we went to go do the training. And the first day that we're actually shooting, because we camped out in his backyard, and he had the whole campsite back there. The first day of shooting, he starts it off. He shoots 2 times at 25 yards, drops the mag, reloads, and shoots 2 more times at 25 yards. And, like, what was it, Robin? Like 3.25 seconds or some shit. He was fast as fuck, and I was like, oh my God.
H was no joke.
Yeah, I was like, so there's people like this out there. And I'm sitting here thinking, like, I got something, I can do. Like,
he was telling us how people he know is faster than him.
Yeah. Well, he mentioned Eric, too.
Yeah.
Which one? Iraq vet?
The fat guy, cool hat, Eric.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, I've seen some fast people, but I think I haven't been on a range with him. He's one of the nicest guys, and that's Nick, a.k.a. Pewville. But I hate Nick. He's a great guy, but I hate him. Because you've taken trick shots to the extreme. Trick shots, I don't even want to do it no more. That is Nick's space. I'll shoot some cool stuff to see what a bullet does to this. I'm cool. Nick has mastered trick shots, and his vision is on like another level. 2020 is supposed to be good. Nick must be like 10-10. Because like Nick is like next level with shooting. He got clay birds being shot at him and he's shooting them out the air. He had his buddy throw a washer and he shot through the center.
What?
And somebody was like, well, it could have took him 50 tries. I don't care if it took him 200.
Yeah, that's hard.
He put the bullet
that's fucking hard.
through the center of the washer.
That's crazy.
Then I watched it. My buddy sent me the video like, Nick did it again. I said, what did he do this time? And Nick had a squiblo in the gun. He taped the barrel to the table and shot the squib blow out of the barrel. I was like, Nick is insane with this. So trick shots done. Mic drop. Nick owns Pew owns that space. But I definitely went because me and him was talking, and he was telling me about how he modifies his grip. But that's why when you see him shoot, he burns it down. Because of his modified grip. Another person that I seen is like insane, and is Taryn. Taryn Tactical. Man, he invited me out. Yeah, he invited me out there, and man, those videos that he posts are nothing like watching him work in real life. And it's like, we're gonna shoot a course, and he's like, and I'm like, you know this, so how about this? I grabbed a cert pistol. I'm like, we're gonna hit, and as I'm doing this, you know the movie The Equalizer?
Yeah.
That's real life. That's really how Taryn is. Like, people don't give him his just due for that, because people probably don't see it. A lot of people don't get to witness it, but he's really like the Equalizer in real life. Like, as you're marking it, and then if you ever watch one of his competitions where they might walk through a stage, just the way that he'll overlook it the whole stage, the same way in The Equalizer, like he set his watch like, okay, 6 seconds. Taryn is like that for real. And I remember I said, yo, when I see him do, he's amazing. The speed is crazy. Like, you talk about somebody that will come out of a holster and hit a shot from the hip, a good shot, not just like but a well placed center mass shot, and like a .43. Like, most people can't even get their shirt up that fast.
Yeah.
So that makes you want to go harder, because it's like, yo, it's really people out like you out here just walking around. And that's why I think the training thing is so important, because even for me, it's like sometimes I'll get busy and I'll get tied up doing influencer stuff, running around doing training that I might not get to practice as much as I feel I need to. So I might shoot with somebody and they're like, dude, you did awesome. And I'm like, if that's what you want to call it. Because for me, it might not be awesome. For them, they're like, oh, that was great. But it's because realistically, I'm not training for that. I mean, if it happens with that one random guy that's in the hood, cool. But I'm training for that guy that used to be on SWAT, but he lost his job over a bad shoot. He lost his family, and now he is outside and he's a menace with all of that training. That's who I'm preparing for. And I remember I was like, man, and one of my buddies was like, bro, that's kind of crazy. I was like, not really. He was like, nah, it's a little crazy, bro. He said, I'm telling you because I love you. And then I watched something about it. I watched some Navy SEAL video. And the Navy SEALs was like, people don't understand it. We'll come off of a mission. We'll take 3 days. And then the team, we're back running through houses and everything. And he was like, people are like, why don't you guys just take it up? He was like, we can't. Because what we do in the space we're in, I'm not training for these regular little bad guys. He said, they'll pretty much get in front of the gun and kill themselves. He said, I'm training for my evil twin that is going to exploit everything that I do wrong. If I step out too far and my toes go around the corner, I would exploit that. And that's one of the things that you want to prepare for. And I think with force on force and simunition, that helps people get that realism behind it, because everybody thinks it's always going to be center mass. No, I'm going to take whatever you give me.
Yeah, I am.
If I see, and that's what I love about some of the aspects of John Wick, because it made it realistic. And I think the first one where it was in a club, and the dude was hiding behind the pillar, but his shoe was hanging out, so he shot him in the foot. Yeah. That's realistic, because in real life, it's not going to always be pretty. But I'm going to take whatever you give me.
It still hurts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You give me a heel, you give me a finger.
Right, whatever. You give me a knuckle, anything. Because, and see, what people think, that people have these visualizations that if I do this, I'm going to shoot one time and this person is going down.
Yeah.
Like I was telling y'all with the cops with that situation where they were like, oh well, I just killed you with a broken bottle. Then I showed them a video of the sheriff. This guy was hitting him with a stick. Y'all might have seen it. And the sheriff, it's an older guy. He starts backing up, and the guy sees him point. He's pointing the gun at the guy. The guy has a stick, and he's still hitting him with the stick. And as he backs up, the guy comes forward. The cops start shooting him. This isn't even 7 yards. This is probably like 3, because the dude was just hitting him with a stick.
Yeah.
And he gets up to 12 rounds at point blank range before this guy falls. So when I'm showing them this, they're like, this guy must have been high off drugs. I was like, how about rage? How about his wife just left him for his best friend? Maybe this dude's kids and wife died in a car accident.
And he just said, fuck it.
And he don't give up no more. He don't got nothing to lose. He's enraged, and you gonna be the target. And I said, you see how as this guy is getting shot, he's still actively walking toward him with the stick in his hand. And I said, think about it. Let's say it's a couple guys. Your duty gun holds 17 rounds. That means by the time he falls, you have 5 bullets left in your gun. 6 if you top off.
Yeah.
And now maybe you got another one of him. How fast is that reload? Because now you still got to process what just happened and still move to the next guy. If it's another guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so you can't, when you give yourself an expectation of what's going to happen, you putting yourself in a dangerous spot. It's even like in the military, they used to have 2 in assess. And even me and 2 Lamb talked about this. He at SHOT Show, and he said it. He's even said it on videos. He said we stopped doing that in the military because we noticed that we're hitting somebody 2 times, boom, boom, and we transition. But target A is still shooting. He not down. So then it became a transition of no, we're not just gonna 2 and assess. We're gonna go until you stop. Because, and a lot of times I think when people have these ideas in their head like, oh, I'm going to do this, and this is going to happen. And I've seen it in classes when people be like, we'll do a scenario. Stop or I'm going to shoot you.
Okay.
And I'm like, do it, motherfucker. And I'm walking toward them. They're like, wait, what? Ain't nobody going to say that in real life. And I stay in character. I said, do it. You soft. You scared? Then by the time they get up, they let me grab the gun. Scenario over your day.
Yeah.
But and it's like, because what happens is when you have an idea in your head, when I pull this gun out and I say stop, you're gonna stop. When it doesn't go that way, then you might encounter somebody that's willing to die because they don't care. Now, are you willing to defend yourself? Or maybe not go home.
So in that scenario, Byron, right? In that scenario, as a law-abiding citizen, you draw your weapon at a person. He doesn't have a weapon, right? He's coming at you. You draw your weapon. You tell him stop, or I'm going to shoot you. Technically, is that a legal draw, or did you just commit assault?
Well, it depends. Do you feel that your life was in danger? Is it, and see, a lot of times it's telltale signs. You might look and be like, yo, this dude's eyes are bloodshot. He is high out of his mind. It's certain things. Like when you see people that are high off certain drugs, they look so zooted. They don't look like a regular person. They look like a zombie. And then in that case, if you're like, yo, but see, language matters. We never say stop or I'm going to shoot in my classes. Stop or I'm going to defend myself. Because when I yell stop or I'm going to defend myself, everybody's going to start listening. I didn't threaten you. I told you what was going to happen if you don't stop. Because language matters. Because it's cameras everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So you can't twist it and say that I threatened you. I said, stop. If you come over here, I'm going to defend myself. Now, if you see a gun in my hand, I'm not going to even point it at you. But if I'm giving you directions and you don't care, And based off of what I'm receiving from you, if your eyes look bloodshot, you look high. If you're off of anything that gives me the hint of you might be on PCP, I don't want that fight. Because I've seen the guy with PCP, and listen, he was trespassing. We tried to remove him. I see my buddy shaking the OC. I step back. He spray him. He wipes it off. Don't spray me with that shit.
That's
And I'm
crazy.
sitting there, I'm like, and I'm thinking like maybe he ain't shaking. So I see him shaking like, what? You better go ahead. I'm like, yo, get off the property. He's like, I ain't going nowhere. Hit him again to the point where it dripped. You could see the orange in his beard a little bit. And he just wiped it with his other hand. I told you don't spray me with that shit. Now, in the meantime, between time, but all that, I already had my baton open. And I was like, well, level up. I jump into it. Hit him in his thigh. In my mind, I'm gonna break something. We're gonna be in court, and we're gonna write up the paperwork. It is what it is. I hit this man that hard, and all he did was look at me and say, "Don't hit me with that shit." Copy that. Now I got a gun in my hand. Now we both sitting there with guns out, like, bro, listen, go ahead, man. And it's one of those things because, and once you had an encounter with somebody on PCP. I never forget this one situation. Two agents I know. They're at some place and the guy's being unruly. He wants to be combative, high off PCP. Now, my one guy is six. Now, he's like 5'11", 6 feet, weighed like 375 at the time. Big dude. Pushes wall on the wall.
5'11"?
He's like 5'11", 6 feet, like 375.
Yeah.
Big dude. So he pushes wall on the wall, dumps him. Slams him on the ground. He's on his back. Like, yo, stop resisting. He tells me, he said, dude, this dude probably weighed 160 soaking wet. He said, I'm on his back, like, stop fighting. He said, this dude started doing a push-up with me on his back. I had to pull his arms out and start pushing him back down. So then we're like, then my other guy, he's grabbing his arm, they're trying to keep his arm so he can't push up. And he's like trying to put a cuff on him. Dude is bringing his arm in while he's standing up trying to pull it out. So at this time, Philly PD happens to run past. They see it. They jump out the car. Two of the cops jump out. They jump in. Give us your hands. They throwing knees. Stop resisting. Now at this point, it's four of them. Now my guy is still pinning Buddy down while they're trying to pull his arms behind his back to cuff him.
That's
the fight
crazy.
is not going good. They're not winning. The cops go over the radio like, yo, we need an assist. We got somebody on PCP. Another unit comes. They jump out. It takes 6 people, 10 to 15 minutes to handcuff a dude that weighs 160 pounds soaking wet.
That's crazy.
Because, listen, that PCP is like that He-Man. And these dudes do not feel anything. And they, get their strength.
Yeah.
So it's things like that because he didn't have a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But if they shot him, it would have been justified. Like even with our situation, we gave dude verbals. We definitely wasn't touching him because we would already see that he was high as a kite.
Mm-hmm.
He wiped OC off of his face. He wasn't even blinking bad after we sprayed him.
That's crazy. How does the PCP
Psychologically, for me, I was like, I know he ain't. I'm sitting up here like, I know you lying. And I'm thinking like, maybe he ain't shake his OC up. Because I'm thinking like, what went wrong? So I see him shaking it out my peripherals. He spray him again like, and then I see it in his beard, and you just wipe it off and say, I told you don't spray me with that. And I already had the baton. I was like, nope, got him. Leg, done. And I hit him as hard as I hit him, and I'm like, and he just looked at me, don't hit me with that shit. What?
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah, sir. Sir, listen. The next one is you're getting hollow points. Because I don't care what you feel, at some point you're going to lose blood and pass out.
Yeah, like
so
the baton to the leg I could understand, but like how did his eyeballs just not care that they had that much pepper spray in them? You know what I mean?
Listen. He didn't even I don't know. I can't explain it. I just know when I seen it, I'm just like, what? And I wanted to say hit him again, but he sprayed him, so he like, and he thought what I thought. Maybe I ain't shake it up enough. I see him shaking it, and he hit him with. I'm like, oh
There's
yeah, it's
something
real.
wrong. There's something wrong here. What the hell?
And then I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking, all right, we're gonna have to write this report up because his leg gonna be broke. And then when I hit him, he just don't hit me with that shit. What? Okay, T man, I got something for you.
That's
Next
crazy.
is critical duties.
Critical duties. That's that plus P.
Yeah, like, but and and this is the thing because a lot of people think that, you know, you can't shoot somebody that's unarmed, and you can. It's all about why.
Mm.
You know what I mean? If you're looking at characteristics, now if you're a regular sized person and this dude is telling you he's gonna effing kill you and he's 6'4", look like he just came home and he 275 all muscle, you want to fight him?
Nope.
Cause listen, look, I know Brazilian jiu-jitsu guys is like, nah, he getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even playing the wrestling game
taking
with this
that
guy.
chance. Yeah, fuck that.
And this is why. And it's good to be confident in your fighting skills, right? But even a broke clock is right twice a day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be either one of those times.
Yeah.
And if you and when somebody and people fail to realize how much aggression and that adrenaline from aggression can drive somebody. And when you're motivated on hurting somebody, that adrenaline and that pure aggression will drive you through pain. It's kind of like when you in a fight, right? And it's like you fight a boxer. He get punched in the face for a living. He don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those things. The worst thing about being in a fight is getting hit, right?
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get hit. But once you become comfortable with the idea of it's a fight, I'm going to get punched in the face.
Yeah.
But now it becomes, if you hit me, I'm going to hit you harder. You hit me once, I'm going to hit you 4 times. And it becomes that wolf and that bear that you got to release to go home.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're in these situations, you don't know what nobody's capable of. The goal is to de-escalate. But you got to think about it, right? If you're dealing with a rational person and you tell him, listen, I don't want no trouble, stay over there or I'm going to defend myself. Now he says whatever threatening thing to you and he starts approaching you aggressively. You draw your firearm at a low ready and say, listen, stop or I'm going to defend myself. A rational person would say, he has a gun. If I don't stop, he's going to shoot. But if you don't care, if you listen, you were committed to trying to do whatever you was planning on doing to me, and it's not nice.
It's not nice.
Because a rational person is going to stop. So when we go now, I'm dealing with an irrational person. An irrational person, you're unpredictable. So now your irrational person is unpredictable. Do I want to say, I might punch this guy in his face? You could be Michael Jai White. You be spin kick this dude in his chin and he look at you like, yeah? And then you like, oh man, maybe I should have just went to the Glock 19.
White Rambo said multiple opponents.
Get that too. Wait. I just started looking. I forgot I'm on the live on my phone. I just seen Gunko and say you should have did what I did and offer him ice cold water.
What up? Is that on Instagram?
Yeah.
You have any more PCP stories?
Man, not for me personally. I said, listen, I don't need to be out. Let me get out the field. Let me sit at the range and make this money.
Yeah, is it worth, like, with everything that's going on with cops, like, is it even worth it anymore?
I mean, So this is what I tell people: if you want to be in law enforcement, you have to do it for the love of wanting to be a protector, because that is really one of the most thankless jobs. Where that's why I think about it. One of the most dangerous calls you can respond to is a domestic, and think about that. So many officers have been hurt and killed because you showed up because a guy beat his girlfriend up. And when you came and you were going to take him to jail, she then grabs a knife and stabs you.
Yeah.
And you came to help her. So it's like you never know what you're going to get into. And you always have to assume that nobody cares. And that, for me, it's like even when I'm teaching people, I can't depend on the police. Okay. So don't call them. What you mean? If somebody breaking your house, don't call them because you don't like the cops, right? Why you want them in your house writing stuff down? Well, I need a report from my insurance company. Nah, you got to stand 10 toes. Take that loss. If you don't like them, stand on it. Don't. But at the same time, if you want to get in law enforcement, I mean, a lot of people do like law enforcement. Because, I mean, I've been out Gunco land. Oh, here you go. He said I got a PCP story. It's a lot of people that will say that you might see when wearing uniform, and they're like, "Yo, man, thank you for the job that you do, because I couldn't do it." And see, this is the thing. A lot of people do it because they're like, "Oh, this is a cool job." For a lot of the guys, they're like, "Yeah, man, girls love a guy in uniform. I'm getting all of the ladies out here with my handcuffs and all of that," and it's cool, right? Until everybody want to be a cop until it's time to do cop shit. Like I tell people all the time, I will be a great firefighter until we hop off that truck and this building is really burning. And they like, Byron, you up?
Why am
I just want to stay out here and spray the water from the truck. No, you're going in. I will take this uniform off and leave it right beside this truck. I'm not going in there. It's hot. The building is burning. So I know I would be a great firefighter until I got to go into the fire, because fires are unpredictable. I done had firefighters tell me stories like, "Oh yeah, this one time and I went in here by myself," and then he was like, then it was a backdraft, and they telling me, I'm like, "Bro, look, I'm not playing with nobody fire." And then he said he was spraying the wrong thing and it wasn't the source. And he was like, so they came to get me because with me spraying the wrong area, it was just evaporating and turning into steam. He was like, so I'm like about to cook myself in a uniform. I said, "Oh, really? You don't say." Guess who would never put on that uniform and run in the burning building? Me. You give me a gunfight, because you know what? I'm against some bad guys that probably don't train. The fire is just burning. We don't know what it might do.
Yeah.
We don't know if it might get near a gas line. Now the house blow up and fall. We in here. I'm not going in there.
Did you see that video? It was like ring cam footage, and a house just blew up. There was like a gas leak in it, right? And then the gas made its way all the way up to the first floor from the basement, and then it hit the pilot on the stove, and the whole house blew up. Like, nobody was home, thank God. You know what I mean? But, like...
That's crazy.
Right? And imagine, like, you're in the same neighborhood. You live right next door. And, like, thank God the houses weren't, like, packed together, like, real close next to each other. You know what I mean? It was just, like, this one house blew up. Nobody got hurt, you know? But now it's, like, you start thinking, like, that could happen to my house. You know what I mean?
You know how many people was probably scared in that neighborhood after that?
I'm scared, and I wasn't even in that neighborhood because I have gas in my house.
Bought a house around there for cheap. There was some nice houses too. You probably could have got a good deal on the house around there after that. Not that you would want to go. Like, y'all got gas leaks and houses blowing up. Like, I'll pay.
Yeah, man. So, Byron, we've gone for 2 hours.
Oh, man, it didn't even seem like that long.
Right? That's how you know it was a good time, man.
We might have to come back and do it again, man.
Yeah, man.
If y'all had me, I'm down to come back.
Of course, dude. I'm glad this finally happened. You know, I just moved to Pennsylvania. I need to find some training out here because apparently gun laws are a little more laxed around here. Thank God.
Oh yeah.
Than
What
Maryland.
part of PA?
In Hanover.
Okay. How far is that from Philly?
It's like freaking 2.5
Not
hours.
bad. It's not bad.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
well, let me know.
Yeah.
Let me know when you want to make the trip. We'll make a day out of it.
yeah, dude. I mean, the training that you were talking about is like the reason why we started this podcast was because we were trying to find this kind of training. And in Maryland, like all we had was Gumtree. They don't do that kind of stuff there. It's just like you sit down and you shoot at paper.
Yeah, man. On this one, you can live out your police dreams. You're gonna do CQB against a real bad guy.
Okay.
And we'll do concealed carry situations. So you'll have to conceal carry a simulated Glock.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll see what happens. Because you might go into the situation and you might not need the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And these are things that I'm going to be doing where you might shoot somebody and then we'll talk about it afterwards. And then a lot of times I might ask you what happened, what made you do it. Then we might play devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
We might be like, yo, man, you think this shoot was a good shoot?
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna do stuff to stress you, but we're doing it so you're like, well, I think this was good till you going to prison. And we might laugh, and it might really be a good shoot. But we want you to be able to stand 10 toes down and be able to articulate why it was good.
Gotcha.
Now, reality in real life, don't say nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Except I will comply 100%, but I can't say anything until my lawyer comes.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I'm about to pass out. I need a med. I'm stressed. I feel like I'm about to have a heart attack. I'm having a panic attack. Like, you had panic attacks before? No, but I think this might be the big one. I don't know. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's why Pennsylvania Force on Force Training Academy is brought to life, because it's not too many places, especially on the East Coast. Up here. I know in Florida they got Wolf, but we don't have nothing in this area of like the Philadelphia tri-state area, the DMV area, where you can actually do this type of training. So, man, we're looking to, we got to go through with Illinois. They take forever to approve stuff, but man, once they approve it, man, we were hoping to be open by now, but we got to wait on permits and stuff like that when you're dealing with, the legalities and make sure everything, all of the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Yeah.
So we're hoping, fingers crossed, mid-April.
Okay.
So mid-April, stay in touch with me. I'll let y'all know about the grand opening. The grand opening, we're going to be there. We're going to have memberships there.
Is it going to be in Philly, or is it going to be somewhere?
Yeah, it's going to be in Philly.
Okay.
But it's definitely going to be dope, man. It'll be something that y'all like, especially if y'all are interested in really trying some real training where you get the response. And I can tell you, listen, you're going to go home with bruises if you get hit.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
But that's the best part about it is you get real life feedback without dying for real and going to the ER
or prison.
What works and what didn't work, or prison. And when you go to these situations, then we put you in a situation, you're like, man. And we might have something where, like, when I'm a part of the situations, understand you're going to be so stressed out. If I'm playing the bad guy, you're definitely going to have to bring your A game. Because you're going to be like, once this scenario is over, you probably going to go tell your friends, like, I don't think Byron's okay, man. He got two in the character, man. I'm a little wary.
What part of Philly is it going to be in?
It's going to be in South Philly. So, literally, if right off of 95 on where Oregon Avenue is, we're literally 5 minutes maybe from that 95 exit.
Okay.
And I think, so Sully from Maryland too, I think Sully said it's probably like an hour and a half for him. Hour and a half, hour and 45.
Yeah, I think I know where that. I was in Melbourne today.
Okay. They got it. There's a dope range up in the Malvern early. Well, it's around, is it Malvern or is it around King of Prussia? No, it's
Well, they're kind of close. King of Prussia and Melbourne.
yeah.
Hmm.
They're it was mainline. That's a dope indoor range. It's not a gun tree,
Hmm.
Mm.
but I mean, listen, mainline is a dope inside range.
Hmm.
Gumtree is amazing.
Yeah.
The only one that I've been through where I think is probably the best indoor shooting range I've ever been to is XCal. And they have, I mean, whatever. They don't have an MMA gym. They don't have an octagon and a boxing ring. That's the only thing. But downstairs, you go in, they got the pro shop. They got a snack bar. They got a private range that you can rent and just you and your buddies sit on there and shoot. Where you could go down range a little bit. They got a tactical bay where they might run different courses and you could do that. Then they got a whole knife section, rest of the pro shop. Then you go upstairs. When you go upstairs, when you first get up there, it's a whole fitness gym. Then if you walk down one corridor, they got spin classes with all of the bikes. They got a masseuse. They got like a spa in there, a
All
masseuse.
right.
They got a child daycare, so you can
Oh.
drop the kids off. Then if you get to the back, they have a powerlifting gym where everything is in kilograms. Crazy. Then you come back out to go around the other way. It's a full restaurant with a full bar. They have a cigar lounge.
All right.
They got a pool table room with 2 pool tables. They got an outside terrace where you could go and eat and look at people at Top Golf. That one is crazy. I think Gumtree is up there because they got the MMA cage and all of that. That's one of the ones where, you know, somebody might just push your buttons and you be like, you know what, let's get in the cage for 5 minutes. I don't like the way you've been acting.
Yeah, the guy's name is Stanley, and he does Stanley Combatives. I took a Muay Thai class with him.
I heard about him. I haven't had the opportunity to take a class. But I heard great things from Full Metal Sensei. Like, said the Muay Thai classes is crazy.
Yeah.
This a dude. I'm actually gonna use him for a skit. That I'm gonna do soon. I gotta find his video again because this dude is like a bodybuilder, and he does Muay Thai. So just imagine somebody that look.
Is he the guy that was throwing the spinning kicks?
Listen,
he's like big as shit.
Yes. You let him say, "Give me your wallet." Nope. You getting this Glock 19 from across the street, sir. Because you get hit with one of them kicks.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, he's like
when I see him,
he was like 285 with a 6-pack. That's freaking crazy.
And he could move when he was
that's
doing
what.
them
Yeah,
spin
yeah.
kicks. I said,
He's on all the good Mexican supplements.
Listen, that dude is a brick house. And when he kicked that pad, that
Yeah.
joint almost sounded like a gunshot. Gave me PTSD. I said, that's why he don't have no partner. Ain't nobody holding them pads. You tie that up and you kick it on the bag.
Yeah, there was so I took Krav Maga back in the day, and there was this big Russian dude in there. He was like 6'5", like 290 something, and we were practicing the nut kicks, bruh. He was kicking this pad, and the whole class just stopped and was just looking at him. And he's like, "What is going? Why is everybody looking at me?" I was like, "Please don't ever do that to anybody in real life. You're gonna you're gonna smash his nuts."
It's like he was like an Ivan Drago. He was a
Yeah,
Drago
yeah,
in
yeah.
real life.
Except to the nuts, though. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was crazy.
If he has no kids, he has no kids.
Yeah. If he has no kids, he has no kids.
Alright, as soon as you kick, you go in a shock.
Oh yeah.
Right.
You're throwing up, bleeding, everything, dude. It was nuts. Yeah. But where are you this weekend? Because I think you're doing something cool this weekend, aren't you, Byron?
So we were supposed to be doing Florida.
Oh.
It wasn't this weekend, it's next weekend.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But we're gonna reschedule it because a couple people hit me up and they didn't have the money right. and I want a nice full class. We got to turn up when we go there. So if you in Florida, you checking this out, get with me. We're going to reschedule and push the date back so a lot of people get everything together, get their ammo and all of that, and we're going to have a good time and turn up. However, this weekend, it's a busy weekend because I'm doing training, got a couple machine gun experiences. So, if you want a machine gun experience,
Yeah.
listen, FRTs are nice, but that class 3 is that class 3.
All right, you got anybody else got anything for Byron?
No, shout out
All
your
right.
social medias.
Yeah, with my man Jay Keys.
Yeah. Byron, tell everybody where they could find you.
Y'all definitely Instagram and TikTok, even though I'm not super active, Byron _ the instructor. On YouTube, you can find me at train the number 2 fight 221. I probably should take that off. I don't even know why YouTube added that, but right now it's train 2 fight LLC 221. But yeah, man, I'm more active on Instagram and YouTube, but I be on TikTok every now and then. And if you send me a DM on Instagram, please be patient. Because I really be outside doing stuff and really training, so I can't just sit around and answer DMs. And I be trying. It just get overwhelming, and I just need a woosah. And then by the time I come back, it's more. So bear with me.
Train to fight.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching today.
Yeah,
Are you
I'll
gonna
post
pull
it
it
in
up,
there,
Josh?
and it'll be in the description and everything.
Aren't you on?
TrainToFightLLC.com.
All right, everybody.
Yep, thank you for watching. Thank you again, Byron. We appreciate you, brother.
Yeah,
Yo,
man.
anytime, man. Just let me know. We can get it on the schedule. We can do it again.
Yeah, we will.
We didn't even go through a lot of these questions. My bad. Y'all gotta call time out on me
Nah,
sometimes.
man. That's
I like
what.
to talk.
No, listen. I send those questions now just in case like it's awkward because we've had it. It's like kind of awkward, and then it's like, oh, here's a question, and then just so we can get the things rolling. But it's always awesome when everything's more organic and the questions and the stories just come out naturally.
It was flowing.
Yeah, we like that better
Man,
anyway.
I'm a talker, y'all. Don't let me go.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Really awesome.
Bye, everybody.
Here you go.
Yeah, it was.